That's the reason why.
Are you frozen?
All right, there we go.
There you are.
Sorry, everyone. I had on the wrong Wi-Fi network. Welcome, everyone, to
Welcome.
this week's edition. What is it? Episode number 42,
Dude.
and election night edition, I guess. Huh, Andy?
Yeah.
That's right. I'm your host, State Chairman Mike Hatcher. This is Andi Jones, my co-host, and we are here bringing it to you live, just like every week. What's going on in Tennessee wrestling in general, not just USA, even though we obviously lean towards the USA side. And yeah, so what's going on in the state? But first of all, what is going on in the world of Andi Jones? How's it going this week? We're good?
Pretty good, just getting prepared for our first preseason tournament this weekend, and trying to get all the returning girls' minds right and try to get the new girls mentally prepped, right, for that moment of shaking the hands.
That's always a good part.
A lot of therapy this week,
So where's the preseason tournament this week?
Tullahoma High School.
Tullahoma. All right. Well, just round the road for you.
Yeah, just like an hour or so. Pretty good tournament. We've been going to it for years, and I mean, yeah, even I went to it back in high school. So
wow.
You gotta love those guys over there.
Oh, they do a great job there, Tullahoma for sure. Yeah, well, that's good. Well, like I said, we as I said in the intro, I guess in the little comments area, this week we're going to kind of piggyback a little bit off of what we did last week, because we had so much success at the preseason nationals the week before. So I think we mentioned the champs that we had. We had 3 national champs last week. One's going to be joining us here in a second. Another one's going to be joining us a little later. So we're really, really excited to get these people on and just kind of, pick their brains a little bit on how the tournament went and just kind of what makes them tick, because being a preseason national champion obviously is pretty big feat, especially, like I said, with the way these preseason tournaments are going right now and as tough as they're getting, they ain't getting easier. That's for sure. So I say we welcome our first guest on here, huh?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. There she is.
Woohoo! Welcome, Easton Dadiomoff.
Hi.
I didn't kill it, right? Okay.
But Andi, listen, she's an old pro at this. This is like a third time. Is it your third time, Easton, on the podcast?
Yes,
third time? So she just keeps like winning All-American stuff and whatever, national title, whatever. That she did. So it's like, okay, well, I guess we're having her on. Heard Riley Sturgill, I think, are having a competition.
Yeah.
Who gets on here the most? Ella Murphy graduated. I think she had the record, for a while. She was on here like every week because she was always doing some cool stuff. But Easton and Riley have been kind of.
Maybe we'll do jackets, like Saturday Night Live. Every time you host the show, you get the jacket and you get like stars and such. Maybe we do something like that. A belt.
Yeah, maybe.
A belt.
Maybe a belt, maybe a belt. That would work. Good. Well, introduce. I know this young lady pretty well. Well enough. She literally travels vast distances just to, come into our wrestling rooms, which is pretty awesome. But Andi, let the listeners know, if they don't know already, who Easton is.
I got a long list here. Let's see. Six-time All-American, 2024 Bryan Keck High School 95-pound national champion, 2024 15 under World Trials 6th place, 2024 16 under Folk Style Nationals 88 to 94 pounds champion. Let's see, 2024 Folk Style Nationals at 95, 4th place, 23-24 Tennessee State champion. 2023 Bryan Keck 3rd place. Let's see, the 23-24 Team Tennessee national team, and the team 24 Tennessee Greco State champion. Wow, I didn't see that one yet. Okay, and the 2024 freestyle state runner-up. So I kept scrolling, to kind of keep it going. Have you found a place to hide all the medals?
Right over there.
Like it.
Right over there.
Stud, make sure it's screwed into a stud. So all that weight. So, well, thank you for coming on tonight.
Thank you for having me.
You've certainly been very busy, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
So tell us where you are now, coming back from competition, now walking into your high school season, right? With preseason starting, and where's your head at right now?
So we just started high school season, and it's just really been focused on that and joining a new team at Montgomery Central. That's been great. So
Love Montgomery Central. Yeah, there's some good folks over there.
yes, ma'am.
And so, in what grade? You'll be a freshman this year, right? So
Yes,
we have yet to see what you're like fully capable of yet, huh? So what would you say your goal for this year is coming in as a freshman?
I'd really like to place at state this year, and I think that's a possibility. I think that's my biggest goal, and building like a good team, and yeah, those are my goals.
It's Addison? Is it Addison that's over there, Brown? And am I thinking correctly with the right school? No, I mixed it up. Never mind. Sometimes I mix words. Bear with me. Anyhow, are you guys? What's your first tournament that you're going to this year?
The Blackman tournament over there.
That's right. You'll be. Oh, that's right. Your dad just said that. So we'll be coming in on that. That'll be fun. We'll get to meet you in person and get to see you.
That'd be great.
Your stuff. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. So how long have you been wrestling?
It'll be the beginning of my 4th year in November right now. So this is the beginning of my 4th year.
Okay. And are you originally from Tennessee?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what got you started with wrestling?
So my little brother, he also wrestled the preseason tournament. He did great. He started and he was like, I want to be an MMA fighter. And Dad was like, let's start off with wrestling. And so he started, and then my coach was like, you should just step on and try. So I did. And then I quit soccer the next day and wrestled. So kind of crazy.
It's kind of, that's a good advice though. If you're going into MMA, like here's a place to start, right? That's fun. So do you think about doing MMA at all?
Honestly, no. That's definitely my little brother.
Yeah. The concussion stuff. Just read up on it, okay? Anyhow, Mike, do you have questions? I don't want to.
No. That's what you keep going. I mean, I've got plenty of questions, so I'll go on later. Now, what was? I mean, let's go into your preseason nationals. Like I said, most recently you went into were you at the preseason nationals and the Brian Keck tournament, USA Wrestling. Obviously, you've been there, done well in before. This year came out on top. What was your? A lot of people won't know. Obviously, I know I'm pretty close to the situation, but you weren't able to wrestle in Fargo this year because you got injured. Like literally, I mean, it was literally like 2 days or so before we went.
Yeah, at the training camp.
So so let's rewind in July. Easton's ready to go to Fargo. I mean, she's beaten like multiple girls that were on the podium in Fargo. She would have had a great tournament. Not to put salt in the wound, Easton, but I mean, so basically, she gets injured to where she can't go, and so now she's off the mat for. I mean, you were off the mat since then, since
like 4 months, yeah.
4 months. Yeah, so she just gets back on the mat. I think, golly, it probably wasn't even like 2 weeks before the Brian Keck tournament before.
Yeah, it wasn't long. I started training with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, so she started like literally like right. I don't even think you were wrestling live, but 2 weeks.
No, I hadn't wrestled live. I probably wrestled like maybe 5 live goes before.
Yeah, before going to the tournament, and then all of a sudden you go to the tournament and you win
it. Yeah.
How do you? I mean, yeah, that's pretty crazy. So how did you get yourself ready? Did you go into the tournament? Obviously, you don't want to go in a tournament, thinking you're going to lose. You might not, win the tournament. I think you probably go in and, with a pretty clear head that, you can be about any tournament. But what's your mindset like going in like that when you have like that little, I guess, amount of preparation time into a tournament like that?
Yeah, so I knew I didn't have a lot of training time, so I journaled. And we talked about this before. I do a lot of journaling and praying because I wouldn't be here without God. So I do a lot of that. And that really prepares me and kind of calms me down because I was really nervous. It was my first match back, and Coach Badon talked to me and calmed me down a lot. So I was like, I don't know what to do. And he's like, just calm down. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
But, so,
that's intimidating, right?
Yes.
Was it kind of like when you got in the tournament and you start getting, things going, your first match comes up? I mean, did you feel like, because I know like when you've been to tournaments, like say the trials, when you place in the trials, I mean, I'm sure that you, with your preparation, you're the utmost confidence in your preparation to where you go out there, you can wrestle hard and there's really nothing stopping you, and you can go and really focus on that. But getting this situation where you're like, okay, got a lot of uncertainty here as far as maybe conditioning, maybe this, that, and everything else. How'd you kind of overcome that when you were actually in the matches?
When I was in the match, I thought to myself, just never give up. Honestly, I was like, I can do this. I had to boost my confidence up. My family did really well in boosting me up too. And then my first match, I kind of was like super fast and crazy in my first match. I had to get all my energy out, all my nervousness. And once my first match was over, I kind of felt like myself again in my second and then in finals. But I needed to get the nerves out in the first one. So
yeah. But then so after that first match, then the things come back to normal, and you really kind of felt like, okay, I'm good now.
Yeah, I felt like me wrestling my second and third match.
Right. So then as the matches get tougher, obviously, as the deeper you get in the tournament, how did you have to prepare any different for those, like for your side? No, because the girls pretty well on the national level now. You're like, okay, I'm probably gonna have this girl, maybe this girl in the finals, that type of stuff. Were you like, okay, I've got to get a little bit more prepared for these girls?
Yeah, so I was trying to really, I think mindset's a really big thing. And so my Coach Badon, and my dad really talked to me and like boosted my confidence. And so I think that's really prepared me for it.
Yeah, that's good. So now, when you got in the finals match, USA Wrestling, they do a good job now of really like kind of highlighting the finals, and you get to run out of the smoke and all that type of stuff and everything.
It was crazy. Cool. I was like, please don't trip. Please don't. I was like, don't.
Just roll through it and then like get off, right?
Backflip out of tripping.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's awesome. So now, you got I think this wasn't that your first like post-match interview that you ever had on the USA Wrestling site that you had?
I had an interview at USAW Nationals.
They did that as well. Yeah, that's got to be a pretty cool experience, though, huh?
I get really nervous. I was like, before I'm like, please don't say really long words because I'm just not the greatest talker. And they're like, you got this. I'm like, I don't got this, but let me do it, and then it's over, and everyone congratulates me. I'm like, that was terrible. But
most of the time, we're not as bad as we think we are. So yeah.
Yeah, listen, you could be as bad a talker as Coach Hatcher is, because I'm always fumbling over my words. So, and here everybody's watching it. So, yeah, don't worry about it. So it's all good. But you referenced your journaling and your mental preparation and stuff like that, and like so this is kind of a unique, I guess, a unique aspect of their family, which I think is really cool and something that they need to talk about. So their dad is very, very accomplished military, special forces type of guy, and that he's been through tons and tons of mental training before. So I actually had him do a presentation to our Young Guns team, as far as like the different goal setting, the different journaling, the different type of stuff that he does with Easton and Jake, who is a little animal as well. And it was really, really, really cool kind of to see, how they map things out and how they really, really go through the mental rehearsal type of stuff and just goal setting and everything. Kind of go into that a little bit more, Easton, as far as I know you were saying that you just you're really very broad with it before. I did a lot of journaling, a lot of praying, that type of stuff. Focus more here on your journaling and your mental preparation going to a tournament like that.
So when I journal, my mom is very good at that. And so she kind of informs me to like make a list of things I'm thankful for, and then make another list of things that I want to do in my matches. And so I make lists on that. I focus on like my foundation of who I am, like how to be thankful, how to like forgive myself and when I make mistakes and stuff in my matches.
Mhm.
And so I do, and be humble. That's a big one. Be humble.
Yeah.
And so I kind of write about that a lot and how like things physically go in matches. So,
Wow.
and then after my matches or after the tournament, I'll kind of write the results and how I reacted, and that's how I journal.
Wow.
Nice.
It's pretty interesting, isn't it, Andy?
I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm
it's
still here
crazy.
for sports psychology. I'm here for it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Like, and just what I know. I think a couple times you show me your journal and stuff like that. You kind of show me some different things you write down.
Yeah,
Um,
it's cool.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it's crazy for a girl that's going in that's in 9th grade now. It's like, my goodness, she's so much more mature than I am.
Well,
I just turned 52.
visualizing those your goals, right? And what you're focusing on, and you got it, there's something about putting those things in front of you constantly, right? Like a vision board of some sort, right? And then you go back and see how you did everything after it's over. Come back in, see where we work on, and we make the next ones, right? So
it makes your mind less foggy. I feel like get some stuff to put on paper.
Yeah,
it's nice.
So that's awesome. You're above your age group in this, just so you know.
Now, how'd you celebrate your national title? Where'd you go last week, Easton?
Oh, I went to South Dakota to go hunting.
Oh,
yeah.
What were you hunting?
Pheasant and duck.
Any luck?
Yeah, a lot of luck. It was so.
What's your favorite thing to hunt?
Probably duck hunting. I think that's the most exciting for me.
Oh yeah, how's that?
Honestly, you can talk, you can eat, which eating is a big priority for me, and it's so much fun.
Yeah. Well, with the deer hunt, you kind of gotta be a little shy. You gotta be kind of quiet.
Yes.
Really say
I
anything.
get cold, like I sit still, but duck hunting you can move around and stuff. It's nice.
Yeah.
Is that how you balance out the wrestling and with some other leisure stuff? It's hunting and wrestling.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Sturgill took me hunting the first time, and he knows me. I'm not. There's no way I'm going to go out, walk around the woods, freeze. No, yeah, he knows me way too well. So he's like, okay, he had me up in this like, I don't know what it is, like a deer stand. Is that what they call it? Deer stand or whatever? I don't know.
If it was,
you're like surrounded and like none of the deer could see us, and we were so far away.
Blind.
Yeah,
I guess, I don't know. All I know is it was warm in there. It was nice. We could chat a little bit. All that. He had it all set up to where I could hit shoot it and stuff like that. When we were a long ways away, I wouldn't scare him away and stuff. And
did he give you a gun?
What's that?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I got one. I got the first one. It was awesome.
Okay.
But I'm sure it's probably quite a bit different experience than what Easton's dad put through. He probably has them out living off the land for 3 days and
the woods with stuff on him. Animals.
I gotta work for it.
Yeah, I think work for it.
It tastes better.
Yes, I don't know. It tastes fine to me. I wasn't freezing. I was just, whatever. I was chilling. It was good though. But like I said, I can vouch for not only Easton but her brother Jake and brother Joe. I mean, they're really, really just amazing kids. Not only all three of them are stud wrestlers, and they work crazy hard. And they will literally, they'll drive, which is, this is just, it's crazy to me because people do it all over, throughout the country, just going to clubs and just providing the best opportunity. But they've got like about an hour drive from Clarksville to
like 35 minutes.
Yeah, 35 minutes. Sometimes it's much like over with traffic, like 45, a little bit older.
Yeah, there's traffic.
They'll get, they've got 45 minutes at least. Let's just call it 45 minutes at Brentwood Academy. And then like they'll stay for the high school practice at times, which it doesn't end till like 8:30. They won't get home until 9:30 at night. It's crazy.
30 minutes away.
Yeah.
Pretty far.
Yeah, it's crazy. But they add so much. I'm so thankful to have them in our room because they just add so much to it. I mean, not only her on the girls' side and in the middle school, but she wrestles with a lot of the high school kids too. And now the kids know. I mean, with Easton now, because before it was like, oh, she's a girl, she weighs like 90 pounds, but now they know. If they're paired with her, they better be ready to roll because they know she's in no joke. It's not an easy go by all means if she gets her hands on them. So
a fun surprise sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, I don't know, I was just, do you mind? No.
But here's the crazy thing too. Easton, how many years have you been wrestling?
4.
4 years. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, this is the beginning of my 4th year.
Beginning of her 4th year. She's only been wrestling for 3 years total. It's insane. So.
Well, I would assume though in your home there was wrestling going on. Well, no, you said you guys started at the same time though, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Usually that's like people that are doing very well at your age have probably brothers and dads that wrestled, and they were, whether you wanted to or not, you were wrestling in the home with your family. And so sometimes it's like not career numbers quite yet, but so that's really amazing. Good for you.
Oh yeah, no, I remember when I first started our youngest club 2 years ago. We're on year 3 right now, and she came in and she was doing, I think she was in our middle school program, our middle school practice. One of them, or actually, you know what? It was a camp that I was having at Nolensville. And we were doing a pretty advanced technique. It was like it was an extended single, and it was like just basically a knee swap type of finish, grabbing the feet. And she did. And I looked over. I was like, "Wait a second!" I was like, "Do it again." And she got there and did it again. Knee swapped and put her. I was like, "Holy cow!" I could get on the show. I said, "This is what it needs to look like." So I'm got her out in the middle of all these boys, and she's doing like this technique. I mean, as good, if not better, than everybody in the room, talking middle school, high school boys, everything. And I was like, that is incredible. So afterwards I go, how long you been wrestling? She's like, oh, like 1 year. I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, no way.
And then that brain starts working. It's like,
yeah, I was like, wow. I was just shocked. And then I was telling Scott Shipman, I was like, girls only been wrestling for like a year. He's like, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, she's gonna be world champ. Coach Shipman, he's like, I've never seen anything like it. So it's pretty crazy. But
so Easton, do you have any kind of and this can be a dream thing, right? So you can choose. What is your dream as far as your wrestling career and what you want to do with it? Do you have anything that you're thinking about right now?
Honestly, like in the future, I'd like to be in the Olympics. So I just want to be there. I don't even care about winning it. I just want to step my foot on an Olympic. I want to be there. And that's probably my biggest goal. But
I want you to be there too.
Thank you.
Same here, because I'm hoping to be in the corner. I was all right, Terry Steiner. Get out, man. Come on. I love kids. But I mean, tell you what. I mean, she's her and her whole family. They're just great people, and we're just, like I said, not only proud to have them in our youngest national program, but obviously she's such a great representation of our state of Tennessee, and she just really does a great job with that. So it's pretty awesome. So
thank you.
You got it. So what else? What else is moving forward? Just high school season?
Yes, sir. Just high school season, and then Jake's middle school season.
Yep. All right. That sounds good. All right, Andi, you got anything else for Easton?
Thank you so much. You are such a intelligent young lady. Thank you for joining us, and I love what you're doing. And just keep up the hard work, girl.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
All right, good deal, Easton. Thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it, and I will probably see you tomorrow night, huh?
Yes, sir. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, take care now.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Great.
Her whole family's, I mean, just amazing people. It's crazy because they're like, when they first started coming to the club, well, like I said, I think they first started, they came to a couple camps that I had beforehand, and they were always just so polite. I've never had like kids just come up there and they won't fist bump me. I at the end, I'll give the kids a fist bump, and they won't. They shake hands. That's what I'm like. Listen, man, give me, especially like Jake, the little one. He's like, no, I'm shaking hands. I'm like, all right, man,
military parent.
after every practice, like every time they'd engage, they'd always be like just shaking hands. I was like, all right, cool. All right, I'll shake your hands. So it's still like literally after every practice, I'm not kidding. There hasn't been one practice that I've had these two kids at where they haven't come up and shaken my hand after practice. Thanks for practice, coach. That was awesome. Even like a really hard practice. Yeah. I never in a million years would
Thank you, coach.
Hey, you know what? Thank you for doing that. Thank you for that physical abuse you just put me through.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I never would have done that.
Yeah, that's a different level of understanding, right? Those children or young people have grasped something that some other folks maybe haven't gotten yet about
exactly.
Thank you for brutalizing me going through this brutal practice, and I'm limping. I've got a hard limp on the walkout, probably a black eye. Thank you so much for the opportunity, because that's an opportunity to get better. But no, I was really impressed. Easton's really well spoken and seems like a really great kid, and I can't wait to see what she does moving forward.
Oh yeah. I mean, she's got a bright future ahead of her, and the big thing was we're hoping that she'd get big enough because she's pretty small. She just won that national tournament at 94, 95, whatever the weight class was there. And obviously, the smallest one. It's the smallest weight class in high school. Is it 100 or 106?
100.
100. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So she's given up some weight already, but she's pretty doggone tough.
I should say you're pretty strong. I mean, you can be light and be very strong.
Oh yeah.
And, so I'm excited to watch her. I haven't got to see her wrestle yet, so this is going to be a fun year.
Yeah, she's tough, and it like I said, it's cool because she actually, her and Jake. I haven't really seen the younger brother, Joe. He hasn't really competed a whole lot because he's so small, but they both have such a great attitude. After win or lose, I mean, they really do. They really, it's awesome to see that, they never throw any fits. They never do any of that type of stuff. They walk off, and then they're always they just evaluate how they did, and they just do a great job of working on the areas that they need to work on and really keep things in great perspective. So, and it probably has a lot to do with parenting.
I was going to say, that's exactly what I was thinking. You got good structure from parents, which you understand that we can be serious about our sports, but we're not saving lives out there kind of thing. And perspective, right? Like I lost, well, you can throw the fit, or you can go, all right, what did I do? What can I improve on? How do I move forward? And they have their journaling. I mean, come on.
I know, it's crazy. So
I want to have her dad come in and talk to me about my life.
He most certainly will. Honestly, he's all about that stuff.
No, I'd love for him to come talk to our girls.
It's really, really good. I mean, he did a fantastic job with it. So yeah, it was awesome. Like I said, proud to have them in the program, and just great people. And it's been some good stuff. So getting on the guy side now. I mean, I think we didn't really have a whole lot going on here in the state of Tennessee, as far as I know. We've had some preseason tournaments. I think there was one last weekend. I'm not sure. And just like I said, a shout out to all the preseason tournaments that went on. I honestly don't know which ones went on, which ones didn't go on. And maybe, we'll look into those a little bit, closer next week's, but it's just really hard to get through. I mean, because a lot of those preseason tournaments, how they are, the group, they have huge brackets. We got to sift through them all. And it's a lot of work. And again, we're not a news station here. We'll leave that to other websites or other sites and other stuff. We'll leave that to them. But so we're not really. We'll go cover some results, but we're about getting kids on and kind of highlight them a little bit. It's more what we're about. But I know we took our team, our Young Guns national team. I should clarify. It's our second PNL event, which is the PNL Fall Championships. Mm-hmm. So the first one we went to was a fall scramble, which was basically our league's cut up into two different sections, East and West. And anything on the East, we went to Evansville, Illinois. This was beginning October, which was awesome. I mean, I'm crazy blessed and honored to be in the PNL. I mean, it's just a great league. And honestly, I really didn't know what to expect. I've been very open with the kids before we went. I'm like, listen, I'm not really sure what to expect here, because when you're wrestling against, Daniel Cormier's club, Askren Wrestling Club, and Big Game Wrestling Club out of Iowa, and Seabold out of Iowa, and Valiant Prep in Arizona, and Poway, and just all these like clubs that have been in the game for a long time. It's just like, and we're just starting our year 3, and it's one of those things that we got to do the new team in the block, and we'll definitely going to take our lumps. And I'll tell you what, I mean,
got to do that to grow, right?
Yeah, well, but you got to. I mean, and plus, I just think that this is kind of the way wrestling is going now with these clubs, these big clubs, and you either take advantage of the situation or you don't. And I think kids are crazy not to take advantage of the situation just because of what it has to offer. So, so this was our first actual competition because the first one we went to was a competition on the first day, and the second day was a training day. We all got together and trained. So it was pretty cool because we did the scramble, and everybody. This was the first one that we had in October. And so all my kids, literally all of our kids went there. We started at 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. We were done by 4. Everybody had at least 4 matches through that day. Yeah. and all against kids that were in their like, I guess, talent group.
Yeah.
Like our beginners had other beginners. They got
Love it.
Yeah. And I think that all of our kids won a match. This was at the regional one. And then the next day we came back and all the clubs trained together because that was kind of the big thing with this. And Max Askren and Jared Lawrence from Pinnacle is a multiple-time national or All-American national champ from Minnesota. They did the clinic. They did the instruction. It was like
awesome.
So then fast forward last weekend, we were at our first championships where there was no clinic attached to it. It was just the competition side. So the kids either entered. All of my kids. We are only understanding. Listen, you're going to be there both Saturday and Sunday. Everybody's registering for the 64-man, tournament. Okay. And if you don't make it to the second day, you're registering for the scramble and you're wrestling and you're getting more matches on Sunday. Nobody's going home on Sunday. You're all staying and then we're wrestling on Sunday. So it was great. So the first day, I mean, we just the competition that was in that arena was crazy. I mean, we had the number 6, I think at 125, 132, one of those weight classes. We had the number 6, the number 9 ranked kid in the country wrestling the finals. We had a world bronze medalist wrestling at what was it, 126. Just the amount of ranked kids that were in the tournament, just because they all go to the clubs, So, but we had 3 guys that placed on Saturday, which was awesome. Peter Savarino from Summit, who's going to be joining us here in a little bit, he placed. Brody Malzoni from Nolensville and Cruz Pryor from Nolensville. All Middle Tennessee kids, all placed. And so I was super, super proud of them. We had some kid, Cash Waymire, I believe, was in the blood rounds. Who else is in the blood rounds? And Cash actually had a great day. I mean, he won, I think, 3 in the tournament on Saturday, and then lost to 2, absolute hammers, that ended up placing, I think, like 2nd and 3rd or something in the bracket.
Yeah.
They came back the next day and won all 5 matches in the scramble. So I know, just looking at the scramble, I know we had some guys go undefeated. I know, just looking at it right now, Cash Waymire went undefeated. Kyle Nielsen went undefeated. Noah Hart, Thomas Lobliner from Ravenwood went undefeated. Actually, Noah Hart, I know he didn't go undefeated. Thomas Lobliner from Ravenwood. So Thomas Lobliner, Kyle Nielsen, and Cash Waymire all went undefeated in the scramble. So
that's awesome.
Well, because they were all wrestling. Because again, at the scramble, so even this the next day, they're wrestling against kids that are equally credentialed. So it wasn't like they were wrestling like they were like I guess that they were good. They were the good kids, and then we were wrestling all the beginners from the other teams. That wasn't the way it worked. They throw them all in the scramble. They put them all at equal ability level. So if those guys go undefeated, you're talking about Cash Waymire is multiple time state placer. Same thing with Kyle. Those 2 right there were wrestling other state place winners from from Iowa, from Oklahoma, from wherever all the clubs are coming from. And then Thomas, he was a varsity guy last year, so I know he got paired with the other varsity kids that were from the other clubs. And we got a kid that wrestles for Ben Askren's club. I'm sorry, that was a varsity kid on his high school team. He's probably going to be pretty good. I'm just saying. That's just because that's just the way it is. They're coaching well, and he's got to go out there and wrestle well. So I'll tell you what. Long story short, I know I'm getting rambling right now, and I want to get Peter on here, but I was, incredibly proud of these.
As you should be. As you should be.
They blew away any expectation that I would have had for them. They just did a fantastic job. I couldn't have been prouder. So that's a long rant, but a long shout out.
Better results here, man.
Yes.
But you gotta put yourself out there and compete against the hard guys.
Absolutely. And, and that's with me as a club too. I mean, I know that we're the new kid in the block. We haven't been around as long as DC's team. We haven't been around as long as Askren Skies and Izzy Style wrestling from Illinois. These guys have been around forever, so for us to go and compete and, at least, hang in there and as a new team, we actually got a really cool compliment from Max Askren. He's a great guy. He's awesome. And he came up to me the second day. He was like, dude, your kids look good, man. Your kids are good. Yeah. I said, we got a long ways to go. He's like, dude, they're scrappy though. He said, I'll tell you, they are a scrappy team. They wrestle hard. I go, well, I said, if I could ever, get some good coaches in here, maybe we could just be, but right now we got to, got me so they can only be so good at wrestling. At least I can make it scrappy. So I said, we're just trying to catch clubs like you. He's like, listen, man, we've been at this for a long time. He said, you guys are doing a really good job, man. So I was like, that's great. That's cool. So
you said 3 years in, right?
Yeah, well, 2 years actually. Yeah, this is our third year start. So and all Middle Tennessee kids also, Andy.
Well, hey, I'm just saying, don't downgrade yourself, man.
All Middle Tennessee kids. So
those are some pretty good numbers and pretty kind words and accurate words from a knowledgeable coach. So,
good thing. Yep.
Take that one.
That's it right there. Well, enough about that. Obviously, people can now see how proud I am. But listen, we're giving everybody a really nice hour break from the election coverage.
It's our duty.
I think it's our duty as Americans, that we are actually giving them a break because
we're our USA shirts tonight.
We got USA shirts on, and who can watch the election coverage all night long? That's crazy. I mean, it's
people more.
We're not gonna have it. I mean, it ain't gonna be over until Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, I mean, there's still all of these mail-ins, all the other it's just.
All right, I said I wasn't going to say it, but it's crazy to me that we're not even going to know where our president is until in a couple of days. They've already actually said that. There's other countries that are literally third world countries that can count their votes and get results in like that. And we can't. We're the smartest, most resourceful country in the world, and we can't do it.
Well, we don't use the metric system. Maybe it's something to do with that.
I don't know. You can't make this up. It's great.
What it has to do with
the coverage I was watching just now. You can't make this up. I mean, they're on the same time zone, Florida and Pennsylvania. In Florida, I think they already called it, basically, for the most part. They called it with Trump, I believe, and South Carolina's called it. But Pennsylvania hasn't even started counting or it's so far behind. I'm
they like to be popular. They like to be the one that decides things.
Yes, I'm like, how does this? I just don't get it. I don't understand. I don't get it. It's crazy. But
they like being popular.
I want to be able to stop listening to all these political analysis and stuff. I want to know who the president is so we can just move forward and
move on, right?
You're right. Everybody's gonna be fine. We'll be fine. I think. Anyway, that was my political rant since this election.
Speaking of moving on.
Speaking of moving on. Well, we had to throw a little election dig in there, didn't we, Andy? We have to, it's election.
Yes,
just like Halloween. Just like the Halloween last weekend, we had to wear a costume in the election night.
I almost came in with my catcher mask tonight.
Yeah. At least got to throw something with the election. If we get to some type of holiday, we just got to throw something in there. Yeah. So anyway, let's get my main man here on the stage right now. I know he's waiting patiently. There he is, the big man himself, Mr. Peter Savarino.
Yes, sir.
What's happening?
Not much.
Long time no see. Sunday, huh?
Yeah.
I was stretching.
I know. Peter, you know Andi Jones?
No.
Now you do. She's a Blackman's women's coach.
Oh.
And, yep. So you'll probably see it around. She's my new co-host. Took over for Kenya Sloan. So yep. And Andy, this is Peter Savarino. Probably one of the nicest kids you're ever going to meet. He's
nice to meet you.
This guy is an awesome dude. I tell you what, he's getting pretty doggone tough. There's no doubt about this. My man has had a fantastic last couple of weeks. That is for sure.
Sure.
He has been crushing it. He has been absolutely crushing it. I'm going to give him a couple of shout outs of just basically some stuff right here. He, so just recently, I mean, I'm telling you, he's just killing it. Blood round Super 32, which is a big deal. Last weekend, the fall PNL, he's 4th. Preseason Nationals All-American. Preseason in 2023, he's 5th. And then 2 weeks ago, he did it all. Preseason national champion in the showcase, that is. So Pete's on a roll. I'm telling you what, Pete's on a roll.
Awesome.
And last weekend at the PNL, the first match, you beat the kid that won the 11th and 12th grade bracket, right?
Mm-hmm.
First round. So last weekend, we went to the PNL tournament, and this is how like legit this tournament is. I mean, it's like, so Pete won the showcase the weekend before, and his first round, he had the kid that won the 11th and 12th grade bracket at preseason nationals. That was the first round match, and Pete wore him out. He freaking whooped him.
Yeah.
And Peter had what's his name? Levi?
Levy,
Levy from Florida. And that kid's pretty good. Yeah, that kid's pretty good. He's really good. But no, I couldn't be prouder of Pete, because I tell you right now, man, this dude right here, he is a workhorse, and he has been literally for at least 2 years, just literally has been at everything. I mean, Virginia Beach, Fargo, just everywhere. And now it's really starting to, get the accolades that he most certainly deserves. And tell you what, he's a serious force to be reckoned with, not only here in the state of Tennessee, but on the national level as well. So he's doing awesome. So yeah, go ahead.
What school are you from?
Summit High School.
Summit? That's right. Oh, yes, he said that already. And what grade are you in?
I'm a senior this year.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Good for you. All the good, like a lot of hard work finally is paying off in even more ways now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's always love seeing that, that perseverance.
That's right. So when did you start? So when did you start? When was your first year of wrestling, Pete?
7th grade.
7th grade. Okay, so he's been at it for a while. When did you start? How come you started? What was it? Coach Miller just yanked you out of the.
No.
You're coming with me, boy.
My best friend was like, he started wrestling in 6th grade.
Yeah.
And I was playing football, but I was like, once football's over, I have nothing to do, so might as well just go and wrestle. So then, first year, got my butt kicked all year. And then just like over time, just more fell in love with it, and it just kept going at it.
Yeah, just kept at it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome. So now when did you really starting to feel like, you know what? Okay, I kind of, I've been getting my butt kicked this for a little while. When did you start feeling that you're like, you know what? I'm actually getting kind of good at this. When did that happen?
Probably end of sophomore year and start of junior year.
Wow. Yeah. So it was a little while then. You're talking 7th grade all the way through 10th grade. There was a lot of whoopings, right? Yeah. What kind of helped you like kind of turn things around there? Was it just a switch in the way you approach the sport, or was it training, combination of both, or what?
Kind of a combination of both. Training, I just took it like sophomore year. I quit football because I was like, I just fell out of love with it, and I just fell in love with wrestling. And then training hard. Over the summer that year, I went up to PA and trained with the young guns at Jody's camp.
Yeah,
and that kind of like flipped the switch for me, and I guess just figured it all out.
Yeah. Well, that's a pretty good group to be around. There's no question there. If you want to learn what it takes to be an elite level wrestler and how it's a different way of life, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It really is. I mean, and honestly, it's something. A lot of times it takes doing that, putting yourself out there a little bit and make yourself a little bit vulnerable, and putting yourself in a position where you're surrounded by kids that are like really. I mean, there's levels to the seriousness of the sport. And you don't know. I mean, you can have a guy like me trying to preach it to you and tell you all the time, Coach Miller trying to tell you all the time, and everybody else trying to tell you. But until you actually are around those kind of kids, it's just like, wow, okay, all right, yeah, I guess they weren't lying. These kids are serious.
Mm-hmm.
What was the biggest takeaway that you took from that there? That time you spent up at Young Guns?
Really, just how it changed my mindset of like how to like prepare for a match, and you're like how you approach a match, because back like before I went there, if I was like down by like 10 points, 8 points, I'd give up. I mean, my mindset would be like, there's no way I'm coming back. But after that, it's like, no matter how much I'm down by, I'm still going to be able to come back. And just how you trust your training and know you put them enough work in it and you belong at those like huge tournaments like Fargo and Super 32.
Right. And because that was actually my next question. Is that when you started kind of really kind of putting yourself out there on the national events then? Is that something?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so what was the mindset switch there? I mean, as far as like, I think that's one of the things that kids, that's the biggest thing right there. I think that's one of the ones. I mean, it's one thing to go and participate in those type of things. And it's different when you like right now, I just know I just see your mindset right now. It's night and day. Before you're just like, okay, I'm going to go to Fargo and be a participant. Because now you're like going into these tournaments and you know what? I'm freaking, I can get after it with anybody here. How does that mindset switch with those type of tournaments and events?
Well, when I first went there, it kind of opened your eyes to like how big and how good kids can get.
Yeah.
And then you just like after my sophomore year, went there at Fargo. It was like my first huge tournament.
Yeah.
I got my butt kicked. I went 0-4. So when we came back, I just really I feel like it helps, like you losing helps you like put into perspective how much work you really have to do and how like to actually dial in and work at practice, work hard. And yeah, I feel like that just like made me like jump levels is learning like the levels to the sport and keep going and going and going. Mm-hmm. So me being fortunate enough to go to huge tournaments with Summit and Coach Hatcher just really like helps you jump levels instead of sitting like at home, I guess, and over the summer and not doing anything.
Yeah.
So
now when you started going to those national tournaments and started, really kind of put in perspective, kind of where you were at, like at that level, what were some changes that you made when you went home? Like, as far as like from your training and preparation and just everything that went along with it.
Dialing my diet was huge.
Yeah.
Parents helped me with that a lot. Still struggle with it a little bit to this day, but
just
dialing it in as much as you can.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah, picking probably the best guy in the room to go with at my size was really big.
Yeah.
Because back sophomore year, I really was like hiding in the corner, I guess.
Yeah.
And wrestling with guys I know I could beat, but going with guys who are better than me and like going with like Landon's big brother Kobe, he really helped me jump levels sophomore year because he was wrestling with me every day.
That's awesome.
One of the guys who was at heavyweight my freshman year came back, and he's huge.
Yeah.
Like he's a D1 football player, and he just bullies me all around the mat, and it really helps. Like getting your butt kicked helps you.
Yeah.
So he just bullied me around the mat and beat me up, just kind of, I guess, help me jump and just working hard at practice. So
yeah. Because that's one thing about your wrestling style, just getting, because I've been in your corner a handful of times, and I love being in your corner, whenever Coach Pete or Coach Jarvis aren't there. And that's just the one thing about that about you is that it doesn't really matter what happens in the match. You're going to keep plugging away. And that's really one of your biggest strengths. And just, I just remember the PNL scramble that we had up in Indiana, and you were wrestling that super, super athletic kid from Askren's club. And that dude looking bam, takedown right away. And you just kept plugging away, getting your underhooks, plugging away, getting your underhooks. Pretty soon they started wearing them out. Pretty soon that dude didn't want to wrestle anymore. Then the second match, same thing. He came out there more serious, and you just keep plugging away at him. And then pretty soon, third period, all yours. And I just think that if there's a style that you have, it's that. I mean, you don't, you don't get out of position a whole lot. You know what your positions are. Obviously, you've told me already you need to work on your sprawling. Well, we'll keep working on that. But other than that, I just think that's just a testament to you and your will and you're just resilience. I mean, you're a very, very resilient wrestler in the match. And I love seeing that. I love seeing that attitude. So
that's a hard thing to teach.
Yeah.
Right? Well, you have these matches where you're just going back to back to back with each other, and it's kind of like who can outlast the other one in their minds with that stamina of it. And so that's a big skill as well. I mean,
yeah, that's Pete right there to a T. No question right there. No
it'll
question.
help you like too.
Yep, exactly. So you dial your diet down. What else from maybe a physical training? Was it weightlifting? Was it wrestling? Was it a lot of combination of everything, or what?
Yeah, so going into sophomore year, our high school actually started lifting with the coach. His name's Coach Massey, and we just been lifting there. And then I started lifting by myself, and now I actually have like a trainer who comes and lifts with me after practice.
Oh, good.
So yeah, just getting nice and strong, because you if you have all the technique in the world, it helps a lot, but being strong enough helps a lot too.
Oh yeah.
So just getting diesel, I guess, and strong.
Well,
just helped me out.
In the day, strength wins, because I've seen a lot of kids that have very, very, very poor technique, but they're just crazy, crazy strong. And they win because they think their technique's good. They think their technique's really good. They think they're a good wrestler, but they're really not. But they're just so strong that their technique.
They believe in themselves enough that the strength pushes through.
Strength is a game changer. It's crazy. You just look, but all you gotta do is just not even looking at the D1 in the college kids now, but you look just across the country in the U.S. I mean, the high school kids. I mean, there's very, very few of them that aren't, really, really, really well put together, whether they're long and have long arms and, just that type of strength, or, guys that are a little bit short, a little bit stockier that are, pretty jacked up. Heavyweights, same type of thing. That's what you're seeing now. It's such a big part of the sport now. So it's crazy.
Well, and with you combining your nutrition with the trainer coming in, helping you with the weights and the work in the room, you're doing some right things, sir.
Yeah, he is. So now moving forward now, what do you got going on? I know we're just starting the high school season now coming up. What's your plans for the season? What do you guys got on the schedule? What do you, what do you got going on this year?
So I think our first tournament, I believe, is the first, I guess, kind of like individual tournament we have is I think it's Black Horse or Dark Horse. One in Memphis.
Yep.
2 weeks from now. Yeah.
So just going there and hopefully getting some matches in for warm up. It's mainly for our younger guys to see like the jump from middle school to high school levels, and for our the higher level guys and the older guys to just get matches in and get really, like, I guess, get your body warmed up for the season. And because some of our varsity guys don't wrestle all year like some of us do. So it just gets their body into the shape of that you have to be in to win the matches. So
Yep. And then you guys are going to some pretty big national tournaments this year. Which ones you guys going to this year?
We're sending some kids to the Beast of the East, Brecksville. Trying to think what else.
They'll go to Powerade also.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think we're trying to go to Folk Style Nationals at the end of the year.
Yeah. But during your high school season, I think you go to Brecksville and Beast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's two really good high school tournaments there, without question. So like I said, we're looking forward to, seeing you and seeing what you got going on there, and finishing the year strong, without question.
Sir,
going right into it. So you've been working out with Alex lately, huh? Alex
Bennett?
Yeah. How's that been going? Alex Bennett, he was a FRA coach the last 2 or 3 years. Yeah, he had to step away from that this year, so now he's been going down and spending a little time with Pete. And and, I think that's probably been helping you quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, very. It's been helping me dial in. Good.
Yeah, give you a big guy to roll. Yeah, it's awesome, man. He's got good stuff down there between Alex and then Coach Miller, Coach Jarvis. No wonder Pete's jumping levels.
Yeah,
he's around good people down there for sure. So good deal, Andy. You got anything else for my man Pete right here?
No, you seem like a nice guy, man. So good meeting you, and I wish you a lot of luck this year, and I hope I get to watch you wrestle some.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, yep, the gentle giant.
And congratulations on all the stuff you've already been doing, really. And it's fun hearing your story of where you started and where you're at now, and how your sports mentality that it has changed, and the things that you're doing and dialing in. You figured out what you needed to do, and now you're doing it. And that's the hardest part. So, in my opinion. Anyways.
Thank you. Yes, man.
I got to finish with this. I got to finish with your national championship match, because I was talking with Coach Jarvis, and he told me that you guys formulated a really good game plan for that kid in the national finals, the showcase finals. And he said that you stuck to the game plan as well as anybody that he's had in a while. What was the game plan? And then what was it like to win that showcase title?
So the game plan was, I know Caleb. He's a great kid. I love Caleb. He was actually on one of Coach Jarvis' shut teams that he wrestled with. So we were finally familiar with the kid, and we were watching some of his tapes together.
Yep.
And Caleb's like he's a good athlete, and he's really fast and slick, and he's a smart wrestler. Mm-hmm. So he shoots a lot. So I had to keep our plan was to stay in your stance, get your controlled high, and control the match. Mm-hmm. But you can't, because I like pushing forward, keep going and going, try getting those stall calls.
Yeah.
So, but one thing Caleb does really smart is he's really good with an arm spin. And the only time he does it is when he's on the edge of the mat. So if he doesn't get it, he's at least out of bounds. He don't get scored on.
Yeah.
So he's a little tricky there. So the game plan was to stay in your stance, control the match, and not push in so much where your momentum keeps going and you get thrown out.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you should do your normal wrestling, hand fight hard and get to your attacks. I was like, all right. Yeah. So that was the game plan.
Yep.
And then during the match, like I was a nervous wreck before the match.
You were running out of that tunnel for the first time, huh? You were running out the smoke.
Nervous. But once you step on the line, it all goes away. So then in the match, I was just keeping steady, keeping going, just keep really hard hand fighting. So that's what really helped me jump levels this year is my hand fight. Growing Coach Hatcher talks about all the time. Hand fighting is key to winning matches. So does Coach Miller. And we work on hand fighting every day. So might as well get as hard as you can, keep going, and just making them get in uncomfortable positions and just getting them to take bad shots, right? Faking. And then he'll take it I think I faked, snapped a little bit, and he took a bad shot. I down blocked him up behind to get my first takedown.
Yeah.
And then Alex, Coach Miller, they all been talking about how having a hard ride on top and finishing the match on top and not giving up any points.
Yep.
So just wrote out the second period, I believe, because I chose bottom second period. And that's when I got my takedown. So I think by the end of the second period, it was 3-0 or 4-0. And then he took bottom third period and just hard ride, kept going on him. And he didn't score any points. And I believe no one scored a point at me at preseason nationals. I think.
Dang, fun.
Yeah.
All right.
So it was fun.
Right. I love it. Yeah. I love it. Then you interviewed by USA Wrestling afterwards. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. I was so surprised. Like walked off the mat and they're like, "Oh, come here." I was like, "Oh my gosh."
That was awesome. Yeah. I was flipping the interviews. I was like, "Oh, there he is."
Oh, how'd you do?
I know. I tell you what, no, like your dad sent it to me. That's what happened. Your dad sent it.
Yeah. Awesome. Coach Jarvis played in the car when we were going home, and I just it was so bad.
It's hard hearing your own voice, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I was missing these faces, and what was I doing?
Yeah.
It was good. He did a good job with it, Peter.
I'm sure he did.
It was really good. You had a great interview. It was awesome. Good deal. Well, Peter, you got anything else for us, my man?
No, sir.
All right, man. Well, thanks so much, man, for your time, and thanks for joining us, and we wish you the best of luck this season.
Thank you.
I'm sure I'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, Peter.
Yeah, that kid's awesome. I'm so proud of him. I mean, he's like I said, especially this past year, he's just really just started doing really well. Now, this last month he's had a really, really good month and a half.
Yeah.
So he's
putting in the work though, right?
Oh, man, sky's the limit for him. I'm telling you, he's doing really, really well. So he's just a great kid to have in any program. He's awesome. So
he seems like a good kid, and it seems like he's taking it. Some kids, there's a lot of, well, not a lot, but there's kids that get the opportunity to learn and get better from other people. Yeah. And for whatever reason, sometimes people are just intimidated to work with certain people and things like that. But I like that he is getting this advice, taking it, and then jumping in there with whoever it is, even if he's going to get his tail handed to him that day, at a chance of getting better. So that's what it takes.
Yeah. No, he's, like I said, he's he's just starting to get really, he's starting to, be confident enough to wrestle, on that national level right now. So I'm really looking forward to see how he does at Brecksville and then also Beast of the East. I think those are going to be two really, really, really good coming out parties for him, where college coaches can really, really, dial in and pay attention to him a lot.
I forgot to ask him that too, if there's any colleges he's.
Yeah, he's talking to a couple of them. So I think
we should have gotten info.
Yeah, well, we'll have him back on when he makes a good decision.
That'd be good.
Cool. Well, as far as that's it. But that's two really good guests. Love having those guys on. of the, and we'll pick a couple other ones next week. Next week, I think we just got preseason stuff going on right now. I think, right? So, you're going to which one is it?
Tullahoma, the Tullahoma preseason tournament.
Yeah, there should be a lot. I mean, there should be a pretty big tournament, shouldn't it?
It usually is. I think it's always been, for me, this will be my 6th year, but it's a good starting tournament. They divide them up with their skill sets. And so just like we do at the Blackman tournament, and, gives those kids are with their first matches, a kind of a chance to not, be a completely traumatic experience for them. Or you know what I mean? Not so much of a jolt sometimes, right?
Yeah, well, you guys just start getting cranked up in your competition schedule, whereas myself, I finally get a little relax a little bit. I get to hand them off to high school coaches, middle school coaches, kids club coaches. Preseason's over. I'll pop in every now and then, watch. Probably won't not. I haven't been home. I haven't been home in Nashville here for, I don't even know. It's been a month and a half. I don't know the last time.
You've been traveling a lot.
Yeah, so I think I need to.
So we'll see. Like, where's Waldo in the tournament somewhere? What to find you?
Not this weekend. This weekend, no wrestling this weekend. So no wrestling. These next 4 months until the end of the season, we only have 2 practices, 2 nights a week. We go Sundays and Wednesdays now. So
Sundays and Wednesdays. Okay.
Sundays and Wednesdays. So shout out to anyone in Middle Tennessee that wants to, participate in the Young Guns program. We have our Sundays. We go 3 to 4:30 with high school kids, 4:30 to 6, K through 8. And then on Wednesdays, we go 6 o'clock to 7:15 with the K through 8, 7:15 to 8:30 with high school kids. So that's what we have. That's our fall winter session. A couple other things coming up. Actually, Black Friday, which is the Friday, obviously, right after Thanksgiving. Parents, if you want something to do with your kids in Middle Tennessee, I'm having my 3rd annual Black Friday camp. It'll be at Brentwood Academy again. Yep, and I'll start shooting out information probably tomorrow. But this year, coming in to do it is Summit legend Landon Sell.
Nice.
Yep, who wrestles at Ohio State University now, multiple-time All-American, and multiple national tournaments. Obviously, a couple times state champ here, Tennessee. Great kid. Really looking forward to it. Obviously, spent the last. Well, he was up there all summer too, but so he's basically spent the last 4, 5, 6 months up at Ohio State. He just he won a couple matches in wrestle off. I think he went 4-2 last week in his first college tournament. So really looking forward to Landon coming in and doing that clinic for us. So it's gonna be great. I know a lot of our kids, looked up to him. He's got great, and he's a great technician. It's gonna be a really good camp. Really looking forward to it. And then we got a lot going on here in Middle Tennessee. So nothing against Chattanooga and Knoxville and Memphis, but if you want us to announce something, we will. But
gotta let us know.
That's right. December 20th is going to be our 4th Club Fest event. 4th, 5th Club Fest. I don't know, either one. But this will be basically a kindergarten through 8th one, and this is like our southeast version of the PNL. So like we have we have about, I think we got about six clubs in our league with this one. It's our Young Guns Nashville Club, Wave Wrestling Club, which is Memphis Christian Brothers, Minion Training Centers from Chattanooga, Higher Calling from Cleveland, Level Up from Georgia, and Stronghold Alabama. We all get together once in the preseason during the kids club season, and then also in the springtime with the high school kids, freestyle Greco. Mm-hmm. So we're actually having the 20th, which is Friday. We're having our club fest on Friday all day long, and all this information will be sending out.
Okay. It's
going to be awesome because we actually because that is the day before our National Collegiate Duel starts that we're hosting here at Ensworth. So
that's right.
Yeah. So instead of any of the clubs, normally it's the club coaches that do the technique and run the training sessions and stuff like that. Not this time. Ohio State University's coaching staff is doing the first session from 9 to 12, and then Missouri's coaching staff.
Oh man, that's awesome!
I know. So these
that's
December 20th. Yep. 20th. So we'll have some information coming out on that too, and then of course whoever participates in the Club Fest will get $20 off. Them and their parents get $20 off the tickets for the National Collegiate Duels, which is the next day, the 21st and 22nd, which has 8 of the top Division I college teams coming in to Ensworth. Iowa State, Ohio State, just if you haven't known, North Carolina, Lock Haven, Penn State, Missouri, Little Rock.
Little Rock. That's what I was thinking of. I've seen your flyer, so I was trying to get
we got a lot going on here in Middle Tennessee, ladies and gentlemen. So please get involved. And if you have any questions, holler at me. There you go. I had to put a long plug in there, but I'm going to keep plugging in there because they're really good.
Listen, I like, and I'll keep asking you the dates so people, because if you're like me, for the people at home, letting them know that too, because it's some great opportunities here.
Sure is.
You keep chasing these tournaments, getting bigger events, and so the training becomes more aggressive. And all Tennessee people are scared of us when we show up for tournaments just because they see the shirt, and then they're like,
love to see that. Love it. All right, Andi. Well, great show again. Next week, we will again pay attention to social media. We'll get it all locked down, and we'll figure out date and time, and we will do that till next week. Thanks so much for joining, and we'll see you all next week. Take care now.
Good night.